Sickles with me for a 24 karat gold themed Sweet 16 party. So I started with the cake sickles, and that's the only thing that I'm going to show in this video. Unfortunately, I did not record the rest. It gets kind of crazy being a mom and running a treat business at the same time. But this is my little hack to making cake sickles. If you do the shell first instead of the cake molding and then dipping, when you cut the molds first, it makes it so much easier to do the whole chocolate shell thing. But first, you're going to see me peel these popsicle sticks. These are the prettiest popsicle sticks for orders that have gold or silver. They're just so tedious and time consuming, but it's kind of satisfying to watch them get peeled like this. I don't know what it is, but it's so satisfying. But I'm going to show you guys how I make my cake sickles, because I know there's like so many different ways, and all of the treat makers like to show their different ways, and I get questioned all the time how I make them so like sleek and shiny looking. And it's because I don't start with the cake, I actually start with the chocolate. So what I do is I pour it into the mold like this, and I just make sure that the entire mold gets coated, and then I'll go ahead and dump out the rest. And while the chocolate is still hot, I push in the cake sickle stick so that you're not cracking it later on down the road. And I do all of them, and after the chocolate dries, you just go ahead and do another coat around the edges so that it could be reinforced. And then once the reinforced coat gets hard, you can go ahead and start stuffing the shell with your cake. So this is a red velvet cake that they requested for this order, and I went ahead and did all of the shells, and then I went ahead and stuffed all the shells, and then I went ahead and sealed all the shells. And how I seal it is, just pouring the chocolate right onto the top, and then making sure it goes into the crevices, like on them little corners where everything touches and seals up once it gets hard. And then I scrape it so it's flat, and then I let them all dry. And while they were drying, I went ahead and made my molds, and this is how they came out. So I have the 16s, the foils, and the 24 karat gold chain necklaces. Those I made with fondant, and I really like the way they came out. People were like, are those even edible? But this is the whole order. I will try to start doing like recording the whole orders and give tips and tricks. So if you want to like, comment, and